Yeah, you would be surprised that it wouldn't be called Kevin Salami or something. Anyway, thank you, Mrs. Starbird, for that experience called Alf. That was definitely something. Up next, though, as was said, we have a run by KowalLazy of Captain Silver. So this was in a Kuso Grande match, and usually when Kowal, who was playing that, sees something like that, he says afterwards, "Hey, that was actually not a bad game. I might speedrun this." Well, this is what you see. Kowal has picked this up for speedrun, and you will see the results very soon. Actually coming up right now, so enjoy some Captain Silver.
And Back to the Future and Dragooned.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, I think we're live. Hello, Grimora.
Hello, me. How's it going?
I'm sure it's going well. Welcome to Captain Silver. This is the arcade part of Captain Silver. We're playing it through an emulator, so there might be some weird stuff that goes on. You know how it is with emulators and arcade games. I don't need to do too much talking to get this thing started. I'm just going to party up. So let's do this thing. Rock and roll, baby. Captain Silver. This game is a hot mess. I have a lot of info to dump, like, right away. First off, we're doing this as the one loop category. There's 2 loops before the kill screen in this game, and loop 2 is the exact same thing, but with slightly faster enemies. It's really boring, and this run is already extremely not marathon safe. It's quite likely I won't finish, and so I wanted to make sure it was something that was at least like a 50-50 shot of finishing. This is really more like a 40-60 shot, so we're going to find out soon how that went, but... There's a sword upgrade I want here. There it is. Pardon me, sir. There we go. So I'm going to talk a little bit about upgrades, and I'm basically going to let Grimora heckle me because I need to focus a little bit after that. The way the upgrades work in this game is the regular sword upgrades stay with you until you take damage. When you take damage, you are dead. Full stop. You get 3 lives per stage, but you lose all your power-ups if you take damage, so it's not really helpful. Plus, it's a quarter masher, and we can just put more quarters in the quote-unquote machine. What does matter, though, is we also have another kind of upgrade, which is the sword length upgrade. Ooh, that was almost my first death. That was scary. And the sword length upgrade works like a lot of the other upgrades in this game, which is if you get 2 of them before the first one has worn off, it becomes permanent. Very big, and it's going to mean a lot coming up in this next stage here. But this is the fairy I need to maximally charge my sword. These beams are not as cool as they look, but they're not bad. I'm going to smash up this barrel. What that does is give me the second sword length upgrade I need. So my sword is now going to remain long through the end of this segment. We get 2 auto-scroller sections in this game. This is the first one. The first one's not too cruel. We're just going to sit down here and we're going to spam the button and kill a whole bunch of fish. We also have this witch. She's not very cool. We don't like her. The big reason we get the sword length upgrade and go out of our way to smash up that barrel and get it is because if we don't do that, the sword is a little bit too short and we can't actually damage that witch until she's right up on top of us. Starting this stage from scratch without the sword upgrades would basically be a reset. So if I take damage and die, same thing with that witch, I'll actually be resetting because it's going to be easier and probably faster if I go back, get the sword upgrades, and do this all over again than it is to try and accomplish this without the upgrades. So with that, Grimora, why don't you go ahead and take over with your heckling? I'm sure you have lots of questions about this mess.
Well, for one, I fully expect that the little flying fish are going to snipe you, and that's who we're going to be voting for and rooting for this entire run.
It's quite likely. If you stand in the middle of the boat and kneel down, sometimes they go right over your head. Sometimes. Their spawning is in the same location each time, but not at the same time. Sometimes it sort of gets thrown off its own rhythm. I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be random or not, but sometimes they spawn right in front of you, sometimes they spawn right under you. I don't know. It's one of the reasons why we want all the sword upgrades, because if they spawn right underneath you, you can just stab them and they go away. I'm waiting for a guy to pop out of the deck here. That guy's now dead. This is the scariest part right here. There we go. If that guy shoots me, it's a reset.
Alright.
I collect this little medicine jar thing. What that does is allow me to take 1 hit of damage before I'm dead. Now, a big thing here... We got these big-bodied enemies. That huge guy right there that was throwing knives at me, as well as this captain. They don't actually have hitboxes on their person, only their weapons. So I'm going to stay down here under the deck so he can't shoot me and stab the crap out of him. That's the only captain in the game. So while this is called Captain Silver, there you go. That was your captain. He's dead now.
So I think those big guys are from the Goonies.
Certainly that dude throwing knives. We're going to see a little bit more of him in a minute. So this is the second auto-scroller section, and this is where the run has the most potential to go really sour. There is a visual cue I'm going to be looking for the scariest part of the stage. It's coming up soon. It's just past this diamond. We're going to get 2 fish at the same time. There they are. All right, here we go. This is the scary part.
I'm terrified.
That is actually horrific. Before I figured out that you could body those guys and not die, the strategy was to jump over the first knife, land on his boat, jump over the second knife and stab him, and then have enough time to double back and get back on your own boat. It had about a 30% success rate, which made this run really, really risky. Having all the sword upgrades means that guy with the gun doesn't get a chance to shoot me. That does 2 really important things for the run. One is normally he gets to stand there and shoot at you. He gets 5 bullets before he drives away. You have to jump over or duck under them, and there's fish and birds and all sorts of crap, and there are some patterns that are just impossible. It also means that the game doesn't just sit there. Normally the boats kind of stop moving for a while, and you just have to wait until you get through that guy's spawn. But this way the boat just continues to move, and we don't waste any of that time.
Are the spawns of the birds and the fish, are they completely random, or are they preset every time?
The locations are preset, but the timing is different a little bit. There's also some spawns that just don't ever happen for some reason. We're supposed to sword fight these dudes with the spears. Basically, what's supposed to happen is we deal damage to them when we're overhand swinging, but they will actually rush you. Just go ahead and take my time on this guy here. Because we have the sword upgrades, I can just swing wildly and they get fried by my sword lasers. I don't have to fight them fair.
I noticed there's a lot of cheating going on here. Like, you've got your super duper, like, sword beams, and then you're like, you know, you can only take 1 hit, and then you die, but then suddenly you have this, like, magic potion that lets you take another hit.
This game is all about clever ways to cheat.
And this is why we root for the game. Nobody likes a cheater.
That's fair. I find it hard to argue at that point. We get some poison frogs in here. I'm just going to slowly stutter step until they're all dead. There we go. We meet the weird spider guys here. Spider guys shoot in 4 directions. I don't know why. But they do, and it's kind of cool. They're actually my favorite enemy in the game because you can quick kill them, and it's relatively consistent, and it looks really scary, but it's not.
But they try their best.
Yeah, I mean, they put in a good effort, but what are you going to do? Can't win them all, right? Alright, this is going to look real dumb, but I promise this is actually the way you have to do this.
This is how you know it's a good game. You've got Turtle Bros to ride on.
Well, here's the thing. The Turtle Bros spawn out of sync, and you actually have to wait for them to sync up. And I've tried a number of ways to do this a little faster, and you cannot. You can't speed it up. You just have to wait a few cycles.
There's a question in the chat about the letters. So those only give you an extra...
Oh, there we go. I missed the jump. That was bad. Yes, a question about the letters. So, now I have to play this fair, so bear with me for a minute here.
Ooh.
There we go. This isn't as bad as if it went wrong during the boat segment, so I'm not too worried about it. So the letters spell out the word Captain Silver, which you probably would have guessed, except some of the letters are not in the word Captain Silver. That's because they are worth nothing. They give you score. They don't matter in any way. They're actually really tragic. Ooh, that was a little scary. Hello, sir. Alright, we got the... Oh, come on. I got crabbed right in the foot. Nothing as bad as foot crabs, let me tell you. You just don't want that. All right.
Oh, there it is.
These coconuts are lethal. I gotta be a little scared of them. Yeah, the crabs have hilariously stupid hitboxes, and since they can spawn behind you and walk into you, they are just the absolute pits.
You need a POW box to hit, I think, to deal with them.
That would be really helpful. Alright, I think we're almost back to where we were here. There we go. Those are the crabs that got me last time. The good news is this is a shop, and we can buy stuff in the shop, and there's a few things I want in the shop. I want this, and this, and that's going to help out tremendously. It's not perfect. Nothing ever is. We're playing Captain Silver, so my life's already gone awry in a few different ways.
I'm not here to judge your mistakes. Oh, wait.
Just laugh at them, that's all. Oh, come on. Alright, there we go. We're good, we're good. Everything's fine now. We're all fine here now. Those plants have much bigger hitboxes than you think they do. Come on, come down here. There you go. There we go. One of the things I was going to mention earlier is if everything goes as planned in this run, people would be like, why is this a bad game? But when things go wrong, it's really, really obvious why this game sucks.
It's like playing Gradius and losing right before the end and losing all those power-ups. It's just not, it's not a good time.
I actually could have made that jump if I jumped a frame earlier. I'm gonna give this 2 more shots, I guess, and then if I haven't managed to pick it up by then, I'll start thinking about whether or not the run should continue. As I mentioned, this run has a really, really, really low success rate because of the one-hit kills, so... oh no, it's a game over. Just kidding. It's a quarter masher. Throw another quarter in there.
So when you ran into the piranha, was that an intentional death?
No, actually, that was, if I jumped just a little bit earlier, I could have jumped over the piranha, and that would have been huge.
So, really, the piranha's the true hero of this game.
The piranhas?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if they didn't keep killing the villain, we'd be fine. I mean, we did just sort of show up on this island and then go, hey, there's all these natives, let's stab the crap out of them with our magic sword. It's kind of rude. Alright, I'm going to grab one of these instead of the health pickup there because really what I want is something that shoots downwards so I can get past that piranha a little easier. And get a little distance here because these piranhas are ruthless.
And that little smashy jumping spot to get the log to go down, there was that, and there was one in the first stage like that, and there's no indication at all that that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, they didn't even print it on the side of the arcade cab, so you had no idea it existed. And in addition to that, it's the only spots in the game where it does anything to hold down when you land. It's also the only part of the game that detects down as an option. It's, I believe it had a stick and not 2 buttons when it came out. I'm not really positive on that. But for whatever reason, it doesn't have downward inputs, except in those circumstances. Alright, let's see if I can fix this. Oh, that was really bad. Alright, I'm gonna give it one more solid go. If we can't nail it in a solid go, then we're gonna pass it on to the next runner, I guess, because game doesn't want to cooperate today. It happens. This game is a hot mess, and I told people in advance that the chances of me finishing it were very low.
Did you notice that time there were 2 piranhas?
Yeah, sometimes the game likes to do that. I don't know why.
Well, it got the taste. They got the taste, and they got the scent of your blood from the first time. So then, like, it's attracting more of them. So like the game learns.
They got the taste. They got the rhythm. It's piranha time.
Oh.
Alright, let's
also, it's taking all my willpower not to spam the doo-doo-doo.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
It's the best sound effects ever. And chat every now and then seems to be enjoying it as well.
Well, that's good. I can't see the chat right now because I can't see anything right now. MAME hogs up basically everything my computer can do at one time, so...
Obscure arcade games running on an emulator work perfectly with modern Windows systems.
To quote the great prophet, what could possibly go wrong?
So,
there we go.
We see all sorts of stuff coming at you. And I just... I just have to wonder, like, what's the rhyme and reason for these stages and how things were set up? Because it's like, the first stage was like Fairy Tale Land, and now this is like, I don't know, Adventure Island.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the scoop is either. I think it's supposed to be like a sort of like a Port of Tortuga kind of thing. Alright, I do not remember this section giving me this much trouble the last time I ran this, but... No, you don't. That was almost really bad.
Alright, you're gonna get it this time.
Ah, yeah, there we go. Alright, we're back. We're back in business. This run might actually finish. I have the sword upgrades to make this part at least very trivial, so that's good. Wait for this to pass because I'm worried. Smash up these kitty cats. Sorry, Yuna. Oh, that is a relief. That was getting really bad. That's not even the hard part of the run. Now it's more likely for me to go overestimate than to just abandon the run, so that's good.
Quitters never win.
Let's see, how far away? Oh yeah, I'm definitely going overestimate if I finish. That's alright, I extended my estimate a little bit after I submitted it because I realized how bad my estimate actually was. Fun fact, if I use my sword on this block without kneeling, I just fall through it for no reason. The collision on these moving blocks is non-existent, so if you wind up swinging your sword, you actually phase through the floor and die instantly. You can also accidentally fall through the screen transition to the lower part of the stage, and if you don't do it in a way the game likes, then you just die. It's really picky about how you fall through that transition.
I like this game. It's trying to make up for all the cheating you've done.
It is really trying to punish me for my various cheating. There we go. Let's get this sword upgrade. It's completely meaningless. So one of the things I need to remember to do during this section is if I'm going to swing my sword, I need to jump first. And that ensures that I'll actually have collision again by the time that I hit the stones. We're going to get one more bird on the right side here. There we go. I can't do this jump early. I've tried it a million times. There's no way to do that. So we're just going to take it right here. And then this part's scary. This part's a little scary too because we're going to jump to kill this firepower plant here. There we go. Alright. 2 more scary jumps, a few scary skeletons, and then a final boss fight. If I take a death in the final boss fight, I'm just going to mercy kill it since we are already at the estimate.
You know, this is a very judgmental thing. Are the skeletons really that scary?
Well, I mean, how do you feel about these skeletons? I think they're spooky. Look at how they're moving.
I think they just have a very creative and unique way of going about life. And well, you're just being very judgmental.
Well, I mean, that's clearly false because they're not going about life. They're dead. Especially that one. I just killed it.
Well, of course they're dead. You're smashing that up.
They deserve it.
They just want to dance with you, man.
Here we go. This could be bad. Much like the captain earlier, this guy doesn't actually get a chance to body you. But he does actually have a hitbox on his regular attack that is far larger than you think it is. There we go. I already took 1 damage, so we can't take another one or I die. Couldn't quite get the quick kill. No, we got it. Okay, it's really important I don't move right here. Because if I move to the right too early, he respawns. And time. Ah, I actually finished a run. Yes! Ha-ha! Victory! Alright, just a quick aside. So that's loop 1. Loop 2, again, is just the same thing with more enemies that are faster. So the category here is 1 loop. I was hoping to 1cc it, but obviously that didn't happen. Quick shout out to Gamora for joining me in the chat, but also this is the most marathon unsafe run that I have ever performed in any medium, and I've played some games that are very marathon unsafe. The Baldur's Gate 2 run that I did for GDQ was a hot mess in that respect as well, and obviously the Demon Rush is terrifying. But that was awesome. Thank you, Gamora, for joining me. And also shout out to Devil Ray, who unfortunately did not wake up early enough to join me. It wasn't really expected that she would since she's on the West Coast. But she actually assigned me this game in Kusa Grande, and that's the reason I decided to speedrun it. So anyway, thank you again, everybody, and please enjoy the next run. I believe it's Crusader playing some virtual hide-glide. So remember to take your motion sickness pills, and maybe don't drink until you're off the ride.
Keep all arms and legs inside.